All right, we got the equipment mounted up on the boat. On this, on the camera mount, I'm gonna like it the most, just simply for the fact of now where I can place my camera, what I've got to do. Right now I've got my 360 mounted up on there, but you'll get the idea. If I'm sitting and I want to go ahead and I want to see what's going on, I can pivot that camera to anywhere on the boat. Or I can simply use the 360 up on the center console. I can get all the way around the boat with it. Take this at the front of my boat, basically showing what I'm doing with either the 360, the live scope, or either how I'm fishing and stuff. But that right there is going to be a game changer for me. On the back of the boat, I've got the rod holders fixed up. Anybody that has a tracker boat, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. This rail system, there is inlet holes drilled every 4 feet, 3 feet, something like that, where you put the bolt system inside. Now, I had to take a chainsaw file and clean that out a little bit, and even then, if I loosen these mounts up and I want to adjust them and move them somewhere else on this track system, if I hit around those holes, it'll jam up on me. I've got to take the nut off. I've got to go ahead and readjust, bring it past that, put it where I got to do. Where it's fixed up on this YakAttack system, the way that they've done it, there's not a locking, I guess, a square nut part up underneath the head. It's an actual, the way they've designed, when you start tightening it up, it'll pivot and lock in place. I can move that. I put it anywhere I wanted a while ago. I went right past those holes. I did not have any problem, and that's one thing I really like about it. But the way that I fixed it up, and I'll show you basically what I got going on here. The rod systems, when I've got them rigged in here, I can pivot that rod anywhere I want as far as getting my angle. The rod that I have mounted up on the front side here is simply the base system with my pivot mount, and then it goes right into the rod holder. This one here is your next extension, and I could see using that one if you have something in the boat you want to get up over top of, you want to get out of the way, you can go ahead and mount it. The larger extensions, I didn't like that play, and that's just the system itself. As far as bending it backwards, it's going to take a lot of fish to break that, but I preferred no extension whatsoever, just for the trolling the way that I troll. Where I could see these longer extensions being used is up front, because when you use them up front, you're getting up out of all that stuff that you got, the seats, etc. And I can go ahead when we run rods up that way, and we're just sitting on the seats and we're watching live scope, and we're basically pushing either cranks or jigs into schools of fish or over top of brush. You know, I've got it up out of my way. And then in the back, I can go ahead, bring it down to this next step, and then back behind us, I'll have that third step, kind of stair-stepping down a little bit. Now, as far as the rod holders go for trolling, from what I'm seeing, I don't really like using this, because I'm able to pick that rod up and get it up out of there. Now, the way that this rod holder is fixed up, the way that it's mounted in there, some people might like that locking system. I don't prefer that gap. And I mean, this is one way to mount it, but luckily they've got other ones. This next system though, the way that it's fixed up, I can see me buying some more of these right here. This is going to be basically a tube system. I can bring it up out of the rod easy, or out of the holder. Once it's inside there and running, I'm good to go. I can adjust my angle on the water, and I can also adjust my angle as how I want that rod to set in that rod holder. Now with this one fixed up, you can see I got a bait caster right there, but it's also fixed up to where you can use a spinning rig by sliding a spinning rig inside there. Only thing you got to do is loosen the tensioner up, which there's a spring system in there. It'll take it out of those teeth. You can slide your rod in, and then you've got your bait caster will kind of lock down in here a little bit better or whatever. But I mean, with the rods that I'm using, that's not an issue. As long as I've got the length to put that butt section of that rod inside there, I'm good to go. But I like the way this system is, for the way that I fish anyway. And like I said, I can see me getting 3 more of these. Base system, once again, I can move it wherever I want. It's no more than taking the tension off and sliding it up and down. As far as the rod itself, or the mount, if I open it up and unclick it, I can get access to it. I can go ahead and take this base off, put something else on there if I'm wanting it. Lock it in place. She's locked in. I go ahead and move it. One of the other things that they sent me that is really going to come in handy is this cleat system right here. Like I said, I've got 2 cleats up front, I've got 2 cleats in the back, but when I'm pulling up to the dock, either to pick my buddy up or if I want to go get the truck or something like that, having this right here, I can drop over a bumper. And not only that, but I'm going to have, I'm already seeing it, I'm going to have a rope tied to this to where I can just hook it over top of the cleat. That way the center of the boat is fixed up. It's not going to be giving me all that pivot from either hooking to the back of the boat or the front of the boat. And my fishing partner, he's going to like this right here. We got a cup holder up front, nice and sturdy. I can see him appreciating that fixed up. But listen, we got her mounted up. As most people know, with everything that's going on, a lot of the boat ramps are locked up, closed up. The ones that are open are bumper to bumper. You better get there at 4 o'clock in the morning. My next step is I'm going to get out on the water. I'm going to actually use these for trolling, and we're going to go ahead and see how it works in conjunction with the camera mounts. YakAttack. Guys, any of y'all that has the boat, that has the rail system, the aluminum boats, YakAttack is in the market now, and I'm liking what I'm seeing with these mounts. The prices are even better. I went online and actually looked at some of the stuff, either comparable or a whole lot better. Plus, it's a lifetime warranty. If anything on here breaks, something snaps, something happens, from what Brent was telling me, send it back. They'll fix you up. I'm gonna try to get Brentland there. He's with them. He knows some good stuff about everything that's fixed up as far as their equipment. I'm gonna try to get him out on the boat the day that I do the test run on these. But so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing. We're gonna test it out. I mean, right now, only thing that I can see, the way I fish, are those longer extensions. A little bit too much play for me. I like something that's a little bit locked in as far as not bending. But I can also see where that stuff is going to help me once I'm up in front of the boat. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Basically, next time I see you with this gear right here, we'll be out on the water either running some long lines or pushing some stuff once these fish come up off these beds and everything. Appreciate it, guys. Be safe on the water.